Hi guys, my name is Tim Baker and I want to welcome you guys to MMA Update. Alright, so this weekend, this Saturday, September, I think it's September 9th? Yes, September 9th, we got UFC 215 going on, Demetrius Johnson versus Ray Borg. There's actually a lot of good fights going on this card, and I feel like a lot of them are getting underappreciated, undervalued, not marketed enough, not promoted enough. For instance, Henry Cejudo and Wilson Reese. All right, those are good fights right there. They both are both in the bantamweight division, the flyweight division, with Demetrius Johnson. They've both lost to Demetrius Johnson. All right. But this is a prelim fight. This is on the undercard. This is not even on the main card. All right. Henry Cejudo is ranked number 2, and Wilson Reese is ranked number 5. All right. So they're both in the top 10, and they're still on the prelims. All right. So Henry Cejudo is 10-2, and he's got 4 knockouts. So he's got a 40% finish rate. That's pretty good. With that being said, he is also the first Olympic gold medalist, he's an Olympic gold medalist. He medaled at the age of 21. He was the second youngest American wrestler to ever medal in wrestling Olympics, so that's pretty cool. Also in the UFC, he's got a 100% takedown defense rate. He's never been taken down. So he pretty much is going to be able to dictate where the fight goes, I think. He's not. I just don't think Wilson Reese is going to be able to take him down. It's just not going to happen. If Demetrius Johnson didn't take him down, Wilson Reese isn't going to be able to. Wilson Reese is 22-7 with 10 submissions. He's a black belt under Roberto Gotti. Okay. He had his UFC debut September 21st, 2013. All right. What else? Yeah, he's ranked number 5, and he's a black belt. So a lot of times when you got 2 ground technicians, they cancel each other out. So I'm actually expecting this fight to be on the feet more than on the ground. But like I said, Henry Cejudo is going to be able to dictate where it goes. So I got my money on Cejudo. If you guys want to bet, I'd go with Cejudo, but that's just me. These are just my fight predictions. I'm not going to go over every single fight. I'm just going to go over like the big name fights that aren't getting promoted as much as I feel like they should be. Another one, Sarah McMahon versus Ketlin Vieira. All right, that's going to be a good one. That's at 135. All right, that's bantamweight. All right, Sarah McMahon is 11-3. She is a former Olympian. She's the first American woman to ever medal in wrestling. All right, so we got some Olympians on this fight card. That's pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to it. She's ranked number 6 in the 135 division. Like I said, she's 11-3. Ketlin Vieira, she's 8-0. She's a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, black belt in Judo, and when she first started her MMA career, she won her first 6 fights in 17 months. That's pretty intense. That means you're taking at least 1 fight about every less than 3 months. Because 6-3 is 18. She won 6 fights in 17 months. So, Sarah McMahon, she's a wrestler. So, again, these are 2 ground specialists. A lot of times ground specialists, they cancel each other out if the wrestler can't get the takedown, or the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or judo specialist can't pull guard, and the person doesn't want to stay in their guard. That's usually what's going to happen. Sarah McMahon, she's a pretty good boxer. She's got pretty heavy hands. She was taken out by Ronda Rousey. She was finished with a knee. Herb Dean stopped that fight. I think that was a little early stoppage in my eyes. That's just me. She still had a knee down. One knee was up, one knee was down. I felt like she was getting back to her feet, and she just didn't have enough time. I wasn't in the fight, so I can't speak for Herb or whatever, but just outside looking in, I would have gave it a couple more seconds, but you know, he's a professional. He knows what he's doing. So if he stopped the fight, it's probably a good call. Rather be safe than sorry. You know what I mean? All right, so moving on to the main card. We got number 8, Jeremy Stephens versus number 14, Gilbert Melendez. All right, so I'm surprised Gilbert Melendez is at number 14. He's ranked number 14. I think this is because he's dropping down in weight. He was at 155. Now he's fighting at 145. So he doesn't have a whole lot of fights under his belt at 145. So that's why he's ranked number 14. Jeremy Stephens at 145 is 25-13 with 16 KOs. So over half of his wins are by knockout. But he has lost his last 2 of his 3 fights. So he's going to be looking to get back on that winning streak. He has 3 Fight of the Night awards and 3 KO of the Nights in the UFC. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Gilbert Melendez right now is 22-6 with 11 KOs, and he's lost his last 4 of his 5. So that might be why he dropped down in weight, trying to just feel bigger than his opponents. So he's trying to get back on that winning streak too. He's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under Cesar Gracie. He was Strikeforce lightweight champ for about 2 years. So that's going to be a good fight. Jeremy one-punch Stephens. And Gilbert Melendez. That's going to be a banger. I don't see this fight going to a decision. I think somebody's going to get TKO'd or knocked out on this fight. If I had to put my money on it, I'm going to put my money on Gilbert Melendez. I think he's just got Jeremy Stephens. He's been in the UFC since about 2007. He has over a 50% losing rate. So to me, that's just not a good bet. When he's 25-13, that means he's lost over half of his fights. Gilbert Melendez is 22-6. Now, styles do make fights. Styles make matchups. So, you know, that is something to take into consideration. But, yeah, 25-13, 22-6. Now, Jeremy Stephens does have a freaking heavy right hand. He's got a heavy hand, all right? So, even at the 145-pound division with Jeremy Stephens, all it takes is one punch and Gilbert could be out. But that's going to be a good fight. I'm looking forward to that one. Moving on, Neil Magny versus Rafael dos Anjos. All right, this one I am extremely ecstatic for. I cannot wait for this fight. It's going to be a headbanger. Someone's getting their head knocked off. Neil Magny, he's 19-6 with 6 KOs. He's a brown belt under Miguel Torres, and he's won his last 4 of his 5 fights. All right, so he's on a winning streak, and he wants to keep that winning streak going on. All right, Rafael dos Anjos. All right, this is a 170-pound bout. All right, Rafael dos Anjos used to fight at 155. All right, and he's moved up to 170. I think he's only fought 1 time at 170. I think that was against Donald Cerrone. Don't hold that to me, though. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But since he has been at 170, he's looked like a straight monster. He's looked like a machine. He's looked like a manimal, all right? He's a cardio machine. He never gets tired. Rafael dos Anjos just doesn't get tired. That's just his work ethic. He's 26-9, all right? He's a 3rd-degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, 3rd-degree black belt in Muay Thai. He's won his last 6 of his 8 fights. And like I said, he's a cardio machine. So, Neil Magny, he's a brown belt under Miguel Torres. He's also one of those show fighters too. So, you can expect some highlight reel knockouts out of this fight. Some Showtime kicks. I know that's Pettis' thing, but it's going to be good. All right, so Rafael dos Anjos, Neil Magny. Neil Magny is number 6. Rafael dos Anjos number 10. The only reason Rafael dos Anjos is ranked number 10 right now is because, like I said, he was at 155. He moved up to 170. All right, and he's not got a lot of fights under his belt at 170, but he looks like a monster at 170. I would not want to mess with that guy at 170 at all. All right, so there's those fights. Moving on to the co-main event. Amanda Nunes versus Valentina Shevchenko. Sorry about that. This bantamweight fight. Bantamweight bout at 135 pounds. Amanda Nunes is 14-4. Valentina Shevchenko is 14-2. All right, Amanda Nunes has 10 KOs, 3 submissions. She is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, a brown belt in Judo. All right, now this is not their first time fighting. Amanda Nunes and Valentina Shevchenko, they have fought before. Amanda Nunes beat Shevchenko by decision at UFC 196, March 5th, 2016. If you guys remember the fight, Shevchenko pretty much seemed like the first round she was just seeing reaction time, seeing Amanda Nunes' speed, measuring distance. Wasn't very active in round 1. Round 2, she got taken down, got beat up pretty bad in round 2. Round 3, she came out and she pretty much lit Amanda Nunes up. She had Amanda Nunes on her back at, I think, 2 separate times in the fight and was dropping some elbows. At one time, she threw a standing elbow and it rocked Amanda Nunes. Yeah, this is going to be a fireworks fight. Fireworks are going to happen in this fight. Some big bangs going to happen on this fight. Amanda Nunes did submit Miesha Tate with a rear naked choke to win the belt, and she defended it against Ronda Rousey. If you guys remember the Rousey fight, this is when Ronda Rousey went in and tried boxing with Amanda Nunes and just got lit up, got picked apart. She didn't even make it to the second round like she did with Holly Holm. I believe Herb Dean was the ref on this fight too, and I think he stopped it standing up. Ronda Rousey was just getting torn apart on her feet. She was almost out on her feet. She was just trying to clinch. She wasn't keeping her hands up. She didn't have very much head movement going on, and it was just Amanda Nunes' night. Valentina Shevchenko, she is a Russian MMA fighter. She has a kickboxing record of 56-2, all right, and an MMA record of 14-2. Those are 2 separate records, okay? Those don't combine. Those are 2 separate entities. Kickboxing and MMA, those are 2 separate entities, all right? Now, Shevchenko has a long list of credentials, and I did list those down so I wouldn't forget. She is a 2nd-degree black belt in Taekwondo. She is a black belt in Judo. She is an international master of sports in Muay Thai, boxing, kickboxing, Taekwondo, and Judo. She's won her last 7 of her 8 fights, and her last loss was to Amanda Nunes via 3rd-round decision. Earlier this year, though, I do want to mention this. They were supposed to fight earlier in this year, I think at UFC, I want to say 213, 212, 213. They were supposed to fight. They both made weight. Amanda Nunes made weight, made 135, but didn't feel well. She said she wasn't feeling well, said she was sick, something along those lines. Here's what happened, though. The UFC's doctor did clear her, said she was able to fight, and she was headlining this event. Dana White was pissed off. Amanda Nunes was headlining this event to face Valentina Shevchenko and pulled out hours before the fight. Not the day before, literally hours before the fight. The day of the fight, she pulled out. Even after being cleared by the UFC doctors. I don't know everything about the medical issues or the ailment that overtook her body. I'm not sure. I don't know if she was just insanely dehydrated. Dehydration's something that a lot of UFC fighters, if you're cutting weight, you're going to be dehydrated. It just happens. It's part of the game. You're going to be dehydrated for a couple days. Once you weigh in, rehydrate, drink some water, you're good. I don't know if that was the issue. Don't hold that to me. You guys can look into that yourself, but they were scheduled to fight earlier this year. They both made weight. Amanda Nunes was cleared by the UFC doctor to fight on that Saturday night, still pulled out. So, I don't know how you guys feel about that. I know how I feel about that, but I'll keep that to myself. The main event, Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson versus Ray Borg. So this is a big fight because Demetrius Johnson has a record on the line. Right now, he's tied for 12 title defenses with Anderson Silva's 12 title defenses. So if he beats Ray Borg this Saturday night in 2 days, he's going to be the new title holder, or the new record holder for the most consecutive title defenses in UFC history. All right, Anderson Silva had 12. Demetrius Johnson has 12. So if Demetrius Johnson wins, he's moving up to 13. 13 consecutive title defenses. All right, you're going to go down in the history books no matter what, Mighty Mouse. Of his 26, so Demetrius Johnson's 26, 2, and 1. So that means 26 wins, 2 losses, 1 no contest, or 1 draw. Of those 26 wins, he has 5 knockouts, 10 submissions, 11 decisions. So with the 11 decisions, that means he's went 25 minutes 11 times. At least 15 minutes, because of those 11 decisions, they may not all be title bouts. But for the most part, Mighty Mouse Johnson, he's not going to get tired. He never gets tired. Like I said, 12-fight win streak, tied with Anderson Silva's title defenses. The great thing about Demetrius Johnson, the reason that he's been able to stay on top for so long, he doesn't really go in and make game plans to his opponents. What he does is he's an MMA fighter. So he trains in boxing, kickboxing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, and makes adjustments during the fight. He just tries being the best wrestler he possibly can be, the best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner he possibly could be, the best boxer, kickboxer, whatever it is. With those styles, he just tries being the best at that style he possibly can be, and then goes into the fight and then makes the adjustments as he needs to. All right, so he's been playing the same game for a while now, so don't fix something that's not broken. So if he keeps winning, why change something up? Ray Borg's 11-2, 2 KOs, 6 submissions, 4 decisions. Trains out of Jackson Winklejohn MMA. All right, this is key because Jackson Winklejohn MMA, those coaches, that coaching staff, they pick apart their opponents. They watch videos. They watch training clips. They hi son. They watch videos. They figure out the combinations that'll work. They figure out the gaps in. Yeah, you can sit on. You want to sit on my lap? Yeah. All right. They figure out the gaps that are in their opponent's training, and they just try to figure out a way to capitalize on openings. And hang on, let me finish. Okay, I'm almost done. So Jackson Winklejohn, those coaches are some of the absolute most prestigious, best coaches in the MMA world. All right, so he does have 2 Performance of the Nights awards. Here's another key factor in this fight, though. He's missed weight twice at this weight. He's missed weight August 8th, 2015. He weighed in at 126.75 pounds. You're allowed to weigh 126.5. That is the cap. You're allowed to weigh 1.5 pounds over the weight. All right. And on December 30th, 2016, he weighed 129.5. So he was 4.5 pounds over his weight cap. So he has had issues making weight. So that is something to be watching because as you get older, your metabolism starts slowing down. So it's going to be more and more difficult as he does age and tries making weight. He's only 24 though, so he shouldn't have an issue making weight. Sorry guys. One other thing I do want to mention though, Amanda Nunes and Valentina Shevchenko. All right. One of the things that are concerning me with Amanda Nunes is I don't know if her mind is going to be where it needs to be at for fight night. So if you guys have been watching the news, there's Hurricane Harvey that just hit, Hurricane Irma, Hurricane Jose, and one other hurricane. I can't remember the name of it right now. But one of those hurricanes are in the direct line of path to Amanda Nunes' home.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Be careful. You okay?
Yeah.
All right. So, with that being said, she's going to be away from her home, away from her house. She's going to be fighting. She's going to be weighing in. She's going to be in a hotel while this hurricane is in the direct path of her home. So, her mindset may not be where it needs to be at for fight night. So, that could be something that could play a factor into her fight on that night. So, again, I hope you guys enjoyed this little fight prediction video. I just want to help you guys. I love doing this. I love keeping up to date on UFC fighters, MMA news. Something I like doing. So I hope this helps you guys out. You guys can pick it apart, do whatever you want. If you guys have any questions or comments, comment below. And yeah, so if you guys make bets, let me know. If you guys, make bets off any of my predictions, comment below. I'd like to see them. I'm probably going to make some bets too. Just let me know how you guys do. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.